One of our biggest fears when doing serviced accommodation is that we don't hit the occupancy levels needed to make it worthwhile. On this video, I'm going to share with you 9 hacks, 9 secrets that are going to help you keep occupancy rates high and make sure that you're maximizing your monthly cash flow. I'm Simon. I've done countless rent-to-rent deals, and over 20 of those are actually serviced accommodation. So over the past few years, I've learned a lot about how to increase occupancy rates, how to eliminate voids, and how to maximize, cream your serviced accommodation units to get the maximum amount of income, which, let's face it, that's why we're all here. So if that sounds good, stay tuned. And if you like content like this, make sure you sign up to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, comment below, and show your boys some love. Because as always, all I'm trying to do here is add value, because I wish that when I started, I had this level of content, especially free content, all right? So how do we increase occupancy rates? Well, in this video, I'm going to share 9 of them with you, and I guarantee it, if you implement just one, if you get just one right, you will increase your occupancy rates. If you end up doing more than 5, you're going to be smashing it. Because the fact of the matter is, in serviced accommodation, sometimes you get lucky. You know, sometimes you just throw something out there and it just sort of hits the right niche and you get high occupancy rates. But it's when you don't that you need to refine things. And I've had issues where some units are smashing it, others aren't, and I can't quite work it out. So through trial and error and these things, I've learned how to overcome them. So number 1 is pricing. Now, it's so easy to get this wrong. Price too high, people, will just go elsewhere. You're not competitive. Price too low, you're going to need such a high occupancy rate to overcompensate that you're not going to be profitable, and that's rubbish. Now, what a lot of people don't tell you about serviced accommodation and the hotel business is that there's different pricing models for different levels of establishment. In other words, if you're a super luxurious hotel or SA, you might make a killing at 50-60% because you're charging high prices. That's what it's all about. Whereas if you're more of a sort of standard, middle to sort of lower level, or aimed at a slightly lower price point, then you might need 80-90% occupancy. So it's a seesaw. You don't always need to be 100% occupancy if you're charging the right amount. So you need a pricing strategy that works for you. And the best way to do this is through market research, and I'm not going to name any because nobody's paying me to plug you, but there are certain price apps where they will do all the hard work for you, okay? So if you want me to share those with you and share who I'm using, DM me on Instagram at Simon Smith Online. More than happy to share it with you. But there are certain ones that will take the prices of the area, okay? They will show you where best to be. You can play around with things. And I tell you now, I've sometimes made a tiny change and it's completely changed my cash flow figures on a deal. So it's important. Number 2 is your cancellation policy. So especially since COVID, people are really finicky in terms of booking things with, strict cancellation policies, because nobody knows if there's going to be more restrictions, and a lot of people got burnt. So you need to get the balance. If your cancellation policy is too strict, you'll put off a lot of people. If it's too loose, people will mess you about and you'll constantly be getting cancellations where you're not rewarded. And this is tough because I had a situation this week, in fact, where somebody's wanted to cancel, and even though you've got a cancellation policy, you can still, in good faith, offer them money back in certain extenuating circumstances. But the fact of the matter is, you need to play around with this. And if bookings are slow, try making your cancellation policy slightly more flexible and see if you get results. Number 3 is the configuration of the property. So sometimes, especially in the larger houses, you may be more tailored to a group booking, okay? But if you've only got 2 beds in a 2-bed, you're not really going to tap into that. So sometimes you might be better off with twin rooms or a sofa bed, or sometimes you might have a larger property with 2 communal rooms when really you could sacrifice 1 and have an additional bedroom. So play around with this as well, because what you will find is sometimes when you are 1 or 2 beds, you're competing with hotels and it's too competitive in that part of the market. So you're far better off experimenting. I had a situation this week, 1 unit wasn't working. I've added 2 extra beds and slightly changed the pricing, increased the price, but changed the beds, and bookings have gone through the roof. So it's something that you need to play around and experiment with. Number 4, you could be doing everything right, but your photography is letting you down. So this means if you took photos on your iPhone and you've not got round to it and it's never been empty for you to do it again, or you ask your mate Jill that does a bit of photography in her spare time, or maybe you just did everything right but you took the photography on a dark, gloomy day and it doesn't make the outside external things look right and the lighting's not good. You may need to redo your photography. And don't be afraid to spend a few £100, £500 on the right photography. You're going to have it forever and it could make all the difference here. Top tip, always focus and play around with the order of your images. Sometimes, you've got the wrong main image or you've got the wrong variety of images. If you've got 4 bedrooms, you might want to show 4 different bedrooms in the first few so that people can quickly see, wow, this is a big place. I'll be honest with you, this stuff has taken me years to really master and understand. So if you're getting value from it, okay, you can learn all this stuff in like 10, 15 minutes. All I ask is that you subscribe to the channel, smash the button, okay, hit the notification bell and comment below. Let me know if you're finding it useful, if you want more content like this, if you hate it, you'd like something else, just let me know so I can keep providing content like this. Number 5 is reviews. It's important to have a review strategy to eliminate the bad ones and maximize the good ones, because it will directly have a huge impact on the amount of bookings you get. So whatever you do, please make sure that you remember you're in a customer service business. Offer a great service, okay? Hospitality first. Get the good reviews, follow up with guests after they've left to make sure you get good reviews, communicate amazingly pre-stay and mid-stay, and it will make a huge difference. Top tip, and many of your Booking.com, Airbnb, the OTAs, online travel agents as they call them, will give you this option, okay? And that is offer a discount for your first few stays to get the reviews in, because once you've got a few reviews, it'll be easier to get bookings. Number 6, the devil is in the detail. So you need to pay close attention to your listings, okay? To the slight little variations in the market and what's happening. I had a time where there was loads of new SAs in my area and I saw a decrease in demand. And that's because they came onto the market priced too low. So you really need to take time and look into the little small things that might happen. Also, make sure that your listings have the right details. Sometimes I've just had something untick. So, if you don't tick Wi-Fi, nobody's going to book. And you could literally just miss that. So make sure that you're auditing your listings and you're in tune with your market. Absolutely key. Now, this brings me on nicely to number 7. And that is building a local community of other SA providers that you can network with. And there's 2 main advantages of this. Number 1 is that you can pass each other bookings and you can actually monetize them. So when somebody comes to you and says, can you do the 7th of June? And you can't, rather than you just saying no, why not try to take their details, say you can help them, say you can get back to them, put it in your WhatsApp group, Facebook groups, make a few calls, whatever it is, and then source that guest onto them and take yourself a bit of a fee. It's a win, win, win. The second advantage of this is, as I said previously, you can be in tune with what's happening in the market. You can warn each other for bad guests. In my area, we've got a bit of a WhatsApp group, and whenever we have a bad guest, we share their information, and then that means we can look out for them and make sure that they're not gonna book with us. So really, really key. Number 8 and 9 are simple, but they're so powerful. So firstly, number 8, you need to tell everybody what you do. And some people like apologetically put their property on Airbnb, but they don't build a business and they don't scream about it. You need to tell everybody. Ask everybody, do you know somebody that needs accommodation in the area? Do you have any relatives coming over? Speak to people, put it on social media, and you will be surprised how many people will refer you. You could give them a little referral, or they could be just doing it for the love. So it's so essential to have a brand and have a business that you can shout about proudly and tell everybody, let everybody know, okay? If you've got anybody in the area, come and stay with us, don't stay at hotels. And last but not least, and it's probably the lowest hanging fruit in fairness, and this is re-engaging past guests. So many people, okay, just have a booking and never ever think of that guest again. And what I recommend you do is you create a bit of a post-booking system where you re-engage them, you find out if they're in town again, you find out, if they were in town for work and what it is, and you try and re-engage them. In fact, you really should be doing this, starting this in the pre-booking phase, finding out what the purpose of their stay is and following up. Because a lot of business clients will book for a few days first, see if they like it, before then booking for months. And a lot of leisure people might have to come into the area more frequently. So re-engage them. And depending on your channel manager and all that good stuff, you should be able to create a database, link it to an email software, and send out recurring emails with discounts to re-engage and get those bookings again and again and again. Woo! So I hope that's useful. Tons of value there for you. As I say, implement as many as you can. Maybe you're implementing 8 out of 9 already. Only 1 to do. Maybe you're doing them all. If you are, share your favorite hacks to increase your occupancy below. And I thank you for the support. I thank you for subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
Introducing Creative Cashflow Plus, the first rent-to-rent app and leading platform dedicated to supporting you on your property journey. Ask the experts anything. Be held accountable so that you can smash your goals. Mastermind with other rent-to-rent specialists. Access our deal clinic to get your deals analysed by a pro. And unlock hours of videos and podcasts guaranteed to help you take your rent-to-rent business to the next level. Get the ongoing support that you deserve. Join us, Creative Cashflow Plus.